So, okay, enough admin stuff. So we see on the screen the draft. So Gullyd3ck3l, he played Japanese in the first game on Dry Arabia against UC, and he won that one. Oh wait, I need to change that as well. So he won that. There you go. And now he's playing Roos against House of Lancaster. Wait, what's the map? Ah, Rockies. That was it. On Rockies. So same map as we just had. And yeah, then I don't know. We'll see whatever else comes after that. So let's jump right into the game. Where is it again? You're in my group.
So we got Roos versus House Lancaster. We have a economic powerhouse Civ in Roos and a ladder monster in House of Lancaster.
Yeah.
On a map created by Avely for King of the Rockies called Rockies. We literally just saw this in the last game. I really enjoy this map. It's a condensed map, so it sort of entices feudal aggression. It entices players to leave their base, but late game it can also turn into a little bit more map controlling. So definitely got varying play styles that can come out for this, and looks like we are going right into the game. And we have Filisberto in the orange, sort of in that southeastern corner as House of Lancaster. Kind of looking at his spawn right now, one of the first things that just jumps out to me is his stone. His stone is really far away. So if Gullyd3ck3l wants to play any sort of feudal, he could really delay some of those manors if he wanted to. And that's what this map is known for. Not a lot of stone, not really going to get you any safe stone. So you have to make very, very wise choices for how you're going to use that very limited resource.
Yeah, like it's usually you have all the key resources close to your base, right? You have a wood line, you have berries, you have gold and stone, and Rockies and coastal cliffs. It is a little bit different. The stone is kind of far off. Same for Roos as well. So for those civs who like to go second town center, for Mongols with the Uvu, for the Ottomans with the military schools, and for House of Lancaster with the manors, kind of like can be a little bit awkward at times. So yeah, you need to be a little bit wise with your choices. I mean, you do have the Castle of Lancaster, so he could place it to the left side of the gold, and then it would cover kind of, still cover the gold, would cover gold and berries and potentially the deer. That definitely would be an option, but we've seen, people opt for not for the Castle of Lancaster, but instead for the Abbey of Kings, which is a little bit different than the English Abbey of Kings. So that could also be an option. I don't know. We're gonna see.
I think he's telegraphing it right now. You have those 3 villagers going out. He's got that sort of perfect mining camp spawn right there, where he can go from gold to stone, and House Lancaster going right on top of these deer right here. So very aggressive forward positioning, but I like it. He's basically saying, hey Gully, I'm going to protect my deer, I'm also going to protect my stone and my gold. I'm going to secure these resources up, and you're not going to be able to take them. So pro scout if you want, you can have your deer, but I'm going to keep mine.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also, like, if we're looking at the broader map, the 2 wood lines that are close to his base, they can be walled off fairly easily, and so the right side of his map will be safe, and then on the left side he has the Lancaster Castle. So even like from a defensive strategic point of view, that's a very, very nice position for the Castle of Lancaster. On the other side, Golden Gate coming up, no real surprise there. 3 scouts at the moment as well, so yeah, look, most likely going pro scouts still, I would expect.
Yeah, and Lancaster Castle is annoying, but I do think Gullyd3ck3l is fully capable of picking off 2 or 3 of these if he micros it appropriately. Filisberto probably going to have to get, a barracks, make some spearmen if he really wants to fully protect those deer. Gully scouts maneuvering over. He's going to see this Lancaster castle, and maybe he's going to switch up his plans. But, you know, when I think about this matchup, I think Roos were probably going to go to Castle Age. I think there's a good chance Filisberto's going to try to just join him in Castle Age. And from there, I don't think we see too many Horse Archers. The Yeoman, kind of one of those units that can perform fairly well against a Horse Archer there, and it's a staple in House Lancaster's arsenal. So maybe Gullyd plays Roos a little bit different. Maybe we see some feudal knights, some feudal archers to sort of punish this greedy Lancaster castle. Or maybe, you know, Gullyd says, I'm going to go to Castle Age and we're going to do a men-at-arms switch. Not entirely sure. We will find out, though.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Filisberto is already killing the deer here close to the manors here, trying to make it a little bit more difficult for Gullyd3ck3l to easily capture those deer. Pro Scouts is already being researched here by Gullyd3ck3l, so perfect timing here, immediately switching into Pro Scouts as soon as he hits Feudal Age. So yeah, gonna have a rough time here with the deer on the Lancaster castle here. And also, I mean, obviously there's no deer pushing anymore because that got nerfed, and so there's no way to, you know, push it further away before that or like any other shenanigans. So this is where it's at. Filisberto securing those deer, making it, I would say, almost impossible for Gullyd3ck3l to really grab something effectively here out of that range.
Yeah, no production building is yet for Filisberto, but he's got 13 on wood, so that is definitely for manors. Also could be for some production buildings relatively soon. That's way more than you need for manors. We could have a 6 manor play here from Filisberto. Alright, he's remacroing a little bit, pulling some of those villagers off of wood, so going straight to deer here. Maybe he's reconsidering and gonna go 3 manors and try to get up to Castle Age. But he's continuing to gather stone, so not sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting thing about House of Lancaster. You know, you can play it so many different ways, and I don't think that 6 manors would be too greedy in this situation. And so maybe, yeah, he's just considering how he's gonna go about that. And on the other side, he also, you know, like, I mean, you know, they're very good players. He's scouting his opponent, and he knows what is happening and what is not happening. And what is not happening in the Roos base is there's no production here at all as well. There's no blacksmith or anything like that, so there's not looking like any kind of feudal aggression from Gullyd3ck3l. So it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement. It feels like he's just, you know, grabbing the deer, and Filisberto is doing his thing with the manors. Is researching the condensed land practices, so it's gonna go up to potentially 6 manors relatively soon. But yeah, neither player feels the need to interrupt the opponent with what they're doing, and so that could indicate that both players are confident that whatever they're doing is better than whatever the other one is doing.
Yeah, so Filisberto switching his macro around, he's going to try to rush up to Castle. Gullyd's going to be in Castle long before him, so I think Gullyd's going to have a 5 relic game. You know, 3 more manors now coming up for Filisberto as he surrounds this deer pack. But Gullyd's going to have 5 relics on the side. We have a high trade house coming in on the side of Gullyd's base there. Again, no surprises. It is very clearly the best landmark available to them in Castle Age, and we have archery ranges. So this is kind of interesting. I think this is either mass archers or mass horse archers. It just feels like meta would say mass horse archers. We'll get to see how well they actually perform against Yeoman.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, where are the Yeoman right now? Because Filisberto doesn't have any production. Like, I've never seen such an empty base. Like 8 minutes into the game, you look at this base, and there's a house, lumber camp, mining camp, and a town center. There's nothing else here. Like, this looks so abandoned. It's really funny. So yeah, there's no military production here. And I mean, yeah, granted he can level some units here, with the Shire Levy, so he can get, you know, once he's Castle Age, he can get some yeomen out on the field. But until then, he doesn't have anything. And so if Gullyd3ck3l, you know, with some tight timing, he actually, like, I know that he can make it work with the horse archers, because he can be out there and annoying and harass villagers and kill villagers before there's even a handful of yeomen out. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of a gamble, but at the same time, Gullyd3ck3l is a really good player, and so I think that's the plan right now. And there's a couple of horsemen in queue, so we're gonna see if that's really what he's trying to double down on. Actually, there's more here.
Yeah, and because he's Roos, he also has the option of adding in some horsemen to complement the horse archers, so it's a really good comp. He could also use these scouts as a front line. And scouts are just coming in. They're going to try to steal as many of these deer as possible. Gullyd already stole one. One scout's going to go down, but three might get away here.
Yeah, at least
Ooh,
two.
I don't know. There's.
Oof. Yeah, needs to drop it, but I mean, he got it out very far, and so just needs to wait a little bit, and then he can actually grab. That's so funny. Like that was.
He's determined.
Yeah, that's a lot better than I expected it to go, and yeah, just take the full house. No, I don't. Okay, yeah, now that's greedy. Now that is greedy.
That scout's not making it out alive. That scout is dead.
Yeah.
Horse archers though gonna try to pick off a villa as they rush up this tower.
Yeah, but so he got it out. Hobolas could actually be really strong into the horse archers.
So Hoblars are a great response from Filisberto here. Gullyd though has enough horse archers, he can kind of kite it backwards, but he's taken home 3 deer as a result of that. And Filisberto is sort of, you know, in this awkward place right now. He just got up to Castle Age, but he doesn't quite have enough production to really field a formidable military. He could use the Shire Levy to get some yeomen and go with the yeoman Hoblar comp, and that would work well against these horse archers, but Gullyd3ck3l kind of maneuvering around, trying to find vulnerabilities in Filisberto's base.
Yeah, doesn't really have a scout here anymore, so he's kind of running in blind and cannot really capitalize on the wood line here. Yeah.
Gullyd has the furthest relic, the safe relic of Filisberto here. Filisberto rushed up a monastery, but this might be too little too late. Gullyd's got the map control, Gullyd's got the faster prelates in these warrior monks. I don't see how Filisberto comes away with any of these relics.
I mean, he should have this one in the back of his base, right? I mean, that's...
Oh, he's got a safe one. I missed that one. You're right.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that he should get. So it will be like the last game where it's like a 4-to-1 relic split. Like
we have a heist. Gullyd's going for it. He's got a warrior monk and horse archers coming down the side of the map here. They're going to take a little bit of arrow fire from this tower, but Filisberto, I don't know if he has enough to really sort of stop Gullyd from taking this relic, and Gullyd just taking full advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing with the timing. Like in theory, obviously, if you have a lot of if you place like 10 yeomen against 10 horse archers, like that doesn't feel great. But if you don't have the the yeoman out in time, that actually can be really tricky. And Gullyd3ck3l is losing the warrior monk, but he pulled the relic a lot closer to his base, so it was still tricky to pull this off. But I mean, yeah, if he's really determined, he could actually make it work and grab that relic still. That's funny.
Oh my, Filisberto stole a relic up by the sacred site, so I was wrong. Yeah. Filisberto's gonna at least have 2 relics here, so it's not gonna be as bad as I originally thought.
Yeah, not to mention that the Hobola numbers are insane right now here. So they are strange. Like I don't know. Like I still feel that the Hobola is a kind of like a strange unit, but a very fun one to use actually. I just used it the other day in a team game, and completely destroyed a couple players with the raiding power that they have, especially with the King's College, right? There's a couple of cool things. He already got it, the hill one. So yeah, there's a couple cool unique techs that the House of Lancaster has, and the Hobolas, they can be really strong if you don't have spearmen to deal with them.
Yeah, so he got hill training, which just increases their charge damage by 150% and production speed by 100%. So now these veteran Hoblar are very spammable. They have one extra ranged armor than normal horsemen, and they cost food and gold, unlike food and wood of normal horsemen. But they're a very spammable unit, and they're a very good raiding unit because the charge damage bonus and how cheap they are, and the ranged armor they have.
Yeah, and Gullyd3ck3l now is in some kind of trouble here. Getting kited and flanked by the Hobolas here. Needs to be careful not to get surrounded. The numbers are not looking good for him. Wall is not being constructed, so in theory, if he could get away... Oh my goodness, that was a brutal surround.
Great micro by Filisberto, wheeling those Hoblars around, and now Gullyd's switching into Knights. Can he do so fast enough, though? Those Hoblars are on their way over to his base now, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still like he didn't lose like almost any Hoblars in that process. Gullyd3ck3l did lose quite a lot of horse archers, like I believe like half of his army was lost in that raid. And so the tricky thing is the Hoblars, you know, as horsemen, they're very, very strong units. And so the horse archers, once they're close, you do not have the option to get away. And we might see some kind of repeat here again in the middle.
Hoblars, though, diving on top of these horse archer knight comp, and they do well against the horse archers, but those knights, they're like their ugly big cousin. They do not stand a chance in that fight.
I don't know why I said ugly. That's kind of personal here, but.
Nice little raid coming around. Filisberto wheeling around the backside of Gullyd's base, just looking for any economy here. Knights are responding, though. Filisberto has his own knights in queue, and at the same time finds the boar there. Got a couple different fights going on all over the map here. Filisberto's knights, though, are getting picked apart by these horse archers at the boar, and they're going to go down. Hoblars were really good for a while, but he needs to hard switch away from them. They're no longer serving him now that Gullyd3ck3l has fielded knights.
Yeah, I mean, like as long as you can keep them alive, they're always fine against the horsemen. So you can kind of force Gullyd to not go further, into the horse archers. Not horsemen, horse archers, but yeah, he needs to definitely have some more tankier front lines. I think the Earl's Guards was actually really cool now, as a front line.
Yeah, the problem with Earl's Guard is horse archers do really well against them, and they are countered out by knights, and these aren't any knights, they're Roost Knights. With Boyar's Fortitude, so they have extra HP. We'll see what Filisberto goes into. I mean, a spearman sort of yeoman comp is always powerful. Both players now have moved on to second TCs, though. Gullyd's got his in a little bit sooner, but Filisberto scouted it out and immediately dropped down his second TC. So we're going to have to get comfortable in our seats. I don't think this game is ending anytime soon, but Gully is back sort of in a sort of commanding position. Moving over towards the boar. I don't know if he's going to kill the boar because he intends to gather from it, but we will see.
Yeah, I would kind of be surprised. Oh.
That boar's surrounded, but he's not going down anytime soon. Knights are moving over, going to burn through this wall.
I have to say that boar is a lot chiller than it realistically would have been. Like, if you do that in nature, you will die. So don't do that. Don't do this at home, kids.
So we have a knight crossbow comp coming up from Filisberto here. That will likely do the job here. Nice little scrimmage going on in front of Filisberto's base, but those Roost Knights coming out on top right now, forcing Filisberto back, and they're going to be able to pick up a couple villagers here, force some idle time. Crossbows from Filisberto coming in to reinforce, and I think Gully's going to have to pull back. No, he's doubling down. He's bringing in more horse archers. Hoblar's coming over, and I think Gully overstayed his welcome and is now going to start kiting backwards. But damage is done. He got quite a few villager kills there, picked up quite a lot of Filisberto's knights, and Gullyd just still in commanding position. I do want to point out, though, that these knight-on-knight fights are a little bit more even than it might seem. While the Rus Knights have Boyar's Fortitude and 25 extra HP, the House of Lancaster Knights have the Collar of Essex and do +5 damage versus heavy.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing with the Demi-Lancers and the Knights. They do get the Colors of Essex, and earlier when I was switching to the King's College, he was actually researching that. So he did have it for a while, and so that heavy switch into cavalry makes a lot of sense, and probably also is one of the reasons why we won't see a lot of Earl's Guards this game. Like the other game, you know, with Myriad, he went for the White Tower, so he didn't have King's College uniques upgrades, and then with the Lords of Lancaster, the Earl's Guards made a lot more sense. But yeah, I'm really liking this comp here. The Hobolas will keep the Horse Archers in check, and then the Knights and then Crossbow Spearmen will deal pretty okay with the Rus Knights.
We still haven't seen any levies collected just yet. No Muster of the Nobles, no Shire levy. So that is something Filisberto has in his pocket if he wants to use it. But he's going to need to decide carefully, because gold is starting to run out on his side of the map, and Gullyd has claimed most of the forward gold. As far as I can see, Filisberto has one 4,000 gold vein, which will last him for some time. But his Hoblars do cost gold, his Knights obviously cost gold, so he's got a little bit of a gold-heavy comp right now. Crossbows as well.
Yeah, and in Imperial Age, his manors will generate gold, but only in Imperial Age. They're not doing that right now. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like the house. What's the tech again? With the English have with the farms. I always forget the name.
Enclosures.
Enclosures. I knew something with the E. So it's kind of like the enclosures equivalent, the scutage that the House of Lancaster has. But yeah, he doesn't have that right now. And so yeah, that's when he said he can do that whenever with the levy. Well, he doesn't have enough resources for that actually. So right now he is fully relying on the units that he's building regularly and not, you know, cheating out of his Lancaster castle.
Looks like we're starting to get a horseman front line from Gullyd3ck3l, and a horse archer is going to be his DPS unit on the back line, which is a very non-gold focused approach. So even though he has the gold, he has the current map control, he doesn't need to save it. He's opting to kind of go for a more economical comp here by adding in a lot of these horsemen.
I mean, he also had 10 crossbows in queue, so he's also mindful of the Knights of Lancaster Filisberto. And now we see a clash here in front of Filisberto's base. A little bit of a messy fight here, but yeah, the Horse Archers uncontested here in the back, just having a blast.
Filisberto has not a lot of spears left, though. Spear numbers falling very rapidly, and I think Gullyd's going to come out on top. Filisberto's going to have to pull back. At the same time, crossbows picking off villagers on Filisberto's gold here, and Gullyd just won that fight.
Yeah, he definitely hugely won that fight. He almost didn't lose any horse archers. I mean, yeah, obviously he did lose a couple of horsemen and knights against the spearmen and a couple of the crossbows. But overall, I would say had the more reliable, the stronger comp, and maybe even the better micro. He sniped a couple of the crossbows with the horse archers, which were more or less his main issue besides the spearmen. And so if we're looking at army value, he's three times ahead right now.
And not insignificant sacred sites. He's got both of them. We're down to about 7 minutes here. So Filisberto gonna have to do something. He needs to bust out of his base here, and Gullyd now swinging over to the other side of Filisberto's base where that weak second town center is. Seeing if he can pull Filisberto's armies here while he's also massing up on the other side. Maybe gonna do a little bit of a bait and switch, because he's got the mobile military comp here, and starting to burn down the second TC. Sync shot coming in, and ooh, that's a good one.
Wow, that was a good synchronized shot here. That really is, I would say, almost a game changer here. A lot of damage here on Gullyd3ck3l's units here, and if that would not have happened, like just like 10 more seconds probably, and the town center would fall here with all these melee units torching at it. So that really saved that town center here, and now...
Well, blinking, you would have missed it. Filisberto used 2 of his levies here, and that's how he was able to quickly catch up. He was behind in military, and now he's sort of, you know, equal. Scrim in the middle, Spearman running backwards. Filisberto knows he can't win this fight, trying not to lose his entire army in the process. Sync shot coming in on the crossbows and horse archers there, and Gully comes out on top. Filisberto cutting back, spears coming in to protect the yeomen and crossbows, and getting some more value here, but he just doesn't have enough spears.
Yeah,
spears are going to be sacrificed.
He does have enough spears to at least, you know, hold the line, so he's sacrificing the cheap spearmen to save the bulk of his army here with the yeomen and with the crossbows, because if you lose that, the game is over. There's no coming back for you, especially now, since, yeah, as you pointed out, with levies, 2 of them has been used, the other one is not available until Imperial Age, so that really, like, yeah, you need to save your range units. As soon as you lose them, the game is over. And yeah,
Siege coming
5 minutes. 5 minutes ticking.
For Gully, though, triple Mangonel is going to make quick work of any backline Filisberto hopes to field here.
Yeah, totally makes sense for sure here. By the way, if you're looking at resources, you know, Filisberto is, like, you know, barely getting by. Gullyd3ck3l actually could switch into Imperial Age if you wanted to right now, which I think, yeah, there is high armory.
Yep. High armory is actually a really good choice. He's going to get access to cheaper siege, 4th Mango hitting the field. Once he gets Imp, those Mangonels are going to become a real weapon. Crossbars takes them from something that's easy to dodge to a very complicated micro fight.
Yeah.
And Filisberto, sensing something is up, is getting rams. Maybe he's going to try to take the sacred site, but Gullyd3ck3l sees it. His army is moving over, and I think Gully's army just outclasses Filisberto's here.
Oh yeah,
especially
absolutely.
With those 2 wooden fortresses.
Yeah, the 2 wooden fortresses, they're not to be scoffed at. Imp is coming in right now, which is the trigger for Filisberto to move out. Nice synchronized shot here, doing a lot of damage, but not taking out one of the Mangonels, so needs to be careful here. Gullyd3ck3l doesn't want to fight right now because he is waiting for the elite upgrades to come in. At the same time, he kind of needs to hold that position, I guess. And good Mangonel shots here, doing decent damage, killing a couple of yeomen here in the way in the back here.
Yeah, Gully, sensing he can win this fight without elite upgrades, decides to take it, and those Mangonels really make quick work of Filisberto's backline and send them running. He's going to be able to hold the sacred site, and I don't think this game's going to go on much longer after this failed push. Hear the bells from the sacred site victory approaching, and Filisberto running out of options.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, less than 3 minutes going for the sacred victory here, and Gullyd3ck3l lost almost all of his front line, but he still has crossbow horsemen in the back, and he, more importantly, has all of his siege, all of his Mangonels still in place, and Filisberto lost almost all of his units here. And GG gets called.
Yeah, Gullyd3ck3l just kind of taking that one very patient approach. He sort of poked and prodded Filisberto's defenses, you know, took the wins where he could, took valuable army trades where he could, and just played a very patient game, right? Forced Filisberto to make a move with that sacred site victory, and when Filisberto sort of turtled, he's like, that's fine, I'm going to go Imp, I'm going to force you to come out of your base.
Yep.
When Imp, Filisberto came out and found a superior army waiting for him.
Yeah, and I mean, even without the upgrades fully coming in, it was just the mass, about 50% more army value on Gullyd3ck3l's side, and if you look at the military count here, besides this one fight at like 14 minutes, every single fight was way in favor for Gullyd3ck3l. And I think that's where he lost the horse archers against the hobolas when they got surrounded. So that was unfortunate, and that happens. But other than that, every single fight that Gullyd3ck3l could control, he had way better outcomes.
Yeah, just well played by Gullyd. Obviously, Filisberto played very well. I like how he sort of opened the game, but Gullyd, really kind of started shining through with the decisions he was making and how he played that.
Yeah. I think Filisberto leaned a little bit too heavy into the hobolas. Because at some point
the night switch.
Yeah, they just lost steam, and then at some point it was just not enough to deal with the knights anymore.
I feel like the purpose of sort of that hobbler was to not only take care of the horse archers, but I think he intended to raid Gullyd's eco. He just never quite got there. By the time like that window sort of opened up, Gullyd had enough knights to really prevent Filisberto from getting any value out of those raids. And so they never really happened.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
So now we are on deciding point in this quarterfinal series. It's a best of 5, Gullyd3ck3l versus Filisberto. And, game 3. Game 3 looks to be a fun one.
Well, wait, are we looking at the same? Because they actually played game 3 already, which would have been such a fun one, and I'm so disappointed that we missed that one. Wait, let's see.
Oh, did it just end?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Frisian Marshes, and it just ended.
Wait, did that also end? I think they're still playing Frisian Marshes, right? No, actually. Yeah, must have ended right. Did we miss like 2 games? Because okay, so the one game that we missed for sure is Gullyd3ck3l playing against with HRE against Filisberto with the Mongols, and we missed that one, which is really disappointing.
Yeah, just by a hair, we missed that one. As I said earlier, Filisberto well known for his Mongol play, and Gullyd well known for his HRE play. So that was an exciting opportunity here.
Yeah, and that was on Frisian. No, that was on Front Range. So
was it on Front Range? I thought it was Frisian. Maybe.
No, so that was on Front Range, and then they're right now playing. I'll just invite you and then we hop into that game. There you are. Because right now, as far as I can tell at least, they're playing on Frisian Marshes with Malians against Knights Templar.
Oh, I see where I made the mistake. Okay, yeah.
So
we are going to Frisian Marshes now.
Yes, exactly. So Frisian Marshes, there it is. So yeah, so it is 2-1 right now for it's there's just one matchup that we wanted to see. HAE versus Mongols, we miss it by a hair. That's so disappointing.
But at least we know Filisberto and the Mongols won out. We have that knowledge.
That's some consolation, right? We know that Mongols did not disappoint.
I will sleep easier tonight knowing that the Mongols came out on top.
Yeah.
But now we turn our attention to Frisian Marshes, and this map has seen some changes recently. Each player used to get their own neutral. Now there's only one neutral, and it's a little bit more center. So trade is a little bit more difficult, but this map has a lot of shoreline fish, and players absolutely need map control. So we have Filisberto and the Knights Templar spawning in the north corner. 5 villagers on wood. 1 villager going out to... Okay, so he's going to dock here. That is what he's deciding. He's going to put a dock down and he's going to gather the fish out of these ponds, which for Knights Templar makes perfect sense. This is a sound textbook play out of Filisberto.
Is he going dock though, or just a mill? Because if you're going dock, you kind of want to go fishing boats as well, right?
Yeah, you do, and you'll see civs like Abbasid and a few other civs just put a dock here, and they'll make 2, maybe 3 fishing ships.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's
But
definitely
you
going
can
for
tell.
the dock. Yeah, you can tell
Yeah.
he's okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, with the wood income from Knights Templar, that totally makes sense. It's just like it feels like an overinvestment for only 3, shoreline fish. But at the same time, that's a lot of food that you get for just investing 250 or whatever resources. So yeah, that's his start. Let's look at Gullyd3ck3l Malians, also one of his favorite civs, if I'm not completely mistaken. Starting off here as you do on the pit mines, 6 houses being constructed right now. Probably gonna go. Wait, am I blind? Where are his villagers? Oh lord, wow. They're like so
Yeah,
close. Oof, okay.
he's teleporting them around to the various resources that
Yeah.
he needs there. But unlike the first Malians game we saw today, where you only saw 2 houses and a tower due to Dark Age play, this is a little bit more of a traditional Malians play where they have more than 2 or 3 houses, 6 in this case. Villagers coming back, probably going to go up to a few more houses there.
Yeah, so gonna drop a
Filisberto
7th
scout.
one and then as well with a mining camp.
Yep, Filisberto scouts, kind of watching what's going on. He sees the amount of houses, so he knows there's no Dark Age shenanigans coming out of Malians. Not that you would really expect it out of that civilization anyway.
Gullyd3ck3l actually going kinda... Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like he's going kinda heavy on gold here, but he's actually dropping an outpost here, so he didn't...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I guess he did scout the dock and the barracks here, so he knows that this, quote-unquote proxy barracks with the spearman is coming, so playing it the same way as we've seen earlier today, with dropping the mill here with 2 sheep here, so you can just switch back and forth. So really good play here by Gullyd3ck3l, not wasting a single second with those villagers and some idle time here.
Yeah, he's sending more sheep over to this mill, so it looks like he knows that this is... Oh, nope, sheep are now going back.
We're going back again.
Never mind. But this toll outpost is going to completely protect all of these houses, so Filisberto's sort of Dark Age shenanigans are going to be turned away. He might still be able to get this one house. It looks like he's going to try to get this one house, and
Yeah.
I think that one house...
Yeah, he can get
Yeah, he's going to be able to get that.
You can get those 2 if he wants to. If he's... So basically what if you click on them, they kind of walk a little bit too close, but if you let them do their thing, then they have a little bit more range. So that actually works then. And so he can get this one, and most likely he would get this one as well. And he's also tower rushing this, so interesting. Yeah, Filisberto definitely looking for a lot of aggression here.
Can you tell he's a Mongol main?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the tower looks a little bit different, but other than that, that is classic Mongol play for sure against the Malians. And I mean, to be fair, that is their weakest point. They have to invest so much wood into their, quote-unquote equal, and so yeah, it definitely is something where you can hit them when it hurts them most. And so yeah,
now Filisberto moving over to gold somewhere. Yep, there you go. And he's going to look to go up to feudal age. Gully's feudal age is about to come in, but he's going to have to deal with this tower first before he can focus on Filisberto's economy. And we have Kingdom of France coming up, so we're going to get... I'll let you pronounce it because you are way more cultured than me. Some feudal age pseudo knights, and at the same time, there we go. I knew it. The way you say it, it sounds so much better.
It probably still was wrong, but yeah, it was close.
So Stone here could be a second town center. I don't think so. I think he's just going to look for arrow slits and fortified outpost and kind of move on here. His greed mechanic is really these pawns, and he's moving on to a second pawn with the dock, and that's kind of his greed mechanic. I don't think we're realistically seeing a second TC here.
No, I mean, it's not really necessary. At the same time, he is moving out to stone, so maybe we'll see a second town center actually.
No, I think it's just the tower upgrades, arrow slits and fortify outpost. I think that's all he wants.
But do you go 4 villages then? I mean, it's kind of like too much, I feel, for the outpost. At the same time, it's not enough for 2 town center play. I'll wait. I'll wait to see what he is planning to do with that. But yeah, with the outpost, with the emplacement, arrow slit displacement, the total outpost actually has enough range to deal with the outpost, and so he's going for the fortify first, and then might drop the arrow slits. So yeah, those 4 villagers, as you said, most likely will just do the emplacements.
Yep, meanwhile, we do have the pilgrims starting to flow out of Filisberto's town center, and, you know, why not? He's got map control at the moment. 130 resources if they make it to that sacred site alive. Gully going for a second pit mine. Really seems like unperturbed with this tower rush. Unbothered by it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't cost him too much. He still has that passive income. He did lose a house, that's a little bit unfortunate. He could rebuild it here if he wanted to. He has the second pit mine, basically fully set, and so that is not really a huge concern for him. Question is, what is he going to do with the pilgrims, because they are gonna boom away pretty fast here actually.
Yeah, so we do have Sanctuary coming in, so that's both economic upgrades in the town center. So it costs Filisberto some villager train time, but now he's going to get an additional pilgrim, so there's going to be 2 now. Gully scouting the pilgrims out, shouldn't be surprised by that. Kind of knows it's a key mechanic in Knights Templars gameplay. And now it's up to Filisberto, right? Is he going to go Castle Age? Is he going to continue feudal pressure? What is his plan here? And I'm not entirely sure. We have the stables coming down, so we can start seeing some, as I like to call them, poor man's French knights, and double stables almost guarantees we're going to see feudal age aggression. Gully right on point, scouting it out, sees the stables coming down. His barracks is ready, Donzos are starting to come out, and I think he suspects there's going to be a ton of feudal aggression. But Phyllis's macro, he's... Okay, so now he's starting to invest. He just needed the production buildings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it seems a little bit late for feudal aggression, but yeah, since it takes a little bit of time, right? I mean, the fishing boats need to kick off, the pilgrims need to kick off, so it just is a little bit delayed, and now we see Chevalier Confrère coming up, and yeah, so the budget, the feudal age French knights. By the way, wow.
Yeah, and these guys really powerful in mass because they have Knightly Brotherhood, so they gain 1 extra HP for each other nearby heavy cav. So definitely a unit that grows more powerful as you continue to mass them. Gully on the backside though, he's going for the cow boom. He's got 12 cows already chilling in their ranches ready to go. Gully's going to play this very defensive. He's going to try to hit Filisberto with a really nice timing attack.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think you have 2 different options here. You either try to shut down the pilgrims, which is on this map a little bit easier to do than on other maps because both sacred sites they're kind of close to each other, and it's only 2 sacred sites, you know, not the usual 3. And so you can try to shut it down, or you're just like, okay, you know what, you have that, I have mine. I don't care, I'll just do my cow boom, I have my pit mines, as long as I don't lose them, I don't really mind too much. And then, once I'm in Castle Age, I can clap back with my army. So that's probably his plan for the time being. At the same time, Sofa is running into the Pilgrim here, and that could actually, yeah, should pick it off.
Yeah, so he does prevent 130 resources from coming to Filisberto with that, but it's kind of costing him 180 resources. That sofa, 2 HP left, not a lot of value in that one. So, small win for Filisberto here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take that trade if I would be Filisberto.
Yeah, completely agree here. Gully though, that eco is starting to really shine through here. He's going up to Castle Age. He's macroing for it. No surprises. We're going to see a Grand Gullyd3ck3l. He's got 20 cattle. He's trying to just survive for long enough, which so far shouldn't be an issue.
Speaking of so far, we have a couple of sofas in the base here from Filisberto, preventing the outpost to be constructed. Draxus is probably wincing right now if he hears me, but that's okay.
Grand Gullyd3ck3l coming down, and Gully's gonna have a really insane timing. I think Filisberto might have mucked around a little bit too long, didn't apply enough pressure here. As soon as that Grand Gullyd3ck3l comes in, it's going to be off to the races for Gully. He's putting down more stables. In these positions, Malians always have a tremendous amount of gold and a tremendous amount of food, so the sofa is the perfect outlet for that. Castle Age comes in, and Filisberto has to be thinking, oh no, did I wait too long? He's got the superior military force right now, but in less than 60 seconds, that's going to be different. And Gully doing a really good job. He's distracting with these sofa. All of those feudal age knights gonna surround, get some damage in, but they're focused on these sofas when they need to be focused on Gully's eco.
Yeah, and like he is really on a timer right now, and as soon as the upgrades kick in, and we have veterans so far by now, those Chevalier Confrere, they're not really that oppressive, certainly at, yeah, pretty soon. Then you have the veterans for the Donzos. No, you're not yet. Not yet coming out. But yeah, so basically with the Donzos you can counter them fairly easily, and so I'm not sure if like you have all this army and you're just sitting around waiting for your opponent to go Castle Age. I'm not sure if that's a winning strategy.
I agree. I don't think it's a winning strategy. Filisberto moving in. Knights bait out the brace, but not enough damage. Getting some idle time, but you have a spring upgrade coming on this outpost, and it's a fully upgraded toll outpost. This is without rams. Filisberto can't pressure this front. And Gully just kind of masterclass in sort of baiting your opponent, buying time when you're Malians for your cow boom to pay off. Imported armor is coming in, so these sofas are going to outperform the Knights of Filisberto right now. And Filisberto's pulling back. He knows he needs to get to Castle Age to sort of equalize here, but I don't think he has the time. I think Gullyd3ck3l's eco is just going to snowball from here.
Yeah, and Gullyd3ck3l is marching out here, so he is going towards Filisberto's base, and as soon as the age up comes in, which he has the resources now to go up to the next age, that can be the the signal for Gullyd3ck3l to just move in and try to do as much damage as possible, as long as he has the eco upgrades, the military upgrades, because right now he has Castle Age, he has veteran archers, veteran sofa, and that is his main comp right now. And so as long as he has the tech advantage, he should be able to deal with Filisberto's army. And Filisberto not committing right now also signals to Gullyd3ck3l that there is an upgrade coming in Angevin Empire in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, but it's I think it's way too late. Gully's just sort of creating this conga line from his base to Filisberto's base. Egypt came in, and Gullyd3ck3l, he knows exactly what to do in these situations. Poison arrows coming in as well, so he's going to have a sofa poison arrow kind of comp here, and that's intimidating.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if you saw that, but Gullyd3ck3l was at his pond, and Filisberto dropped dropped the demo ship and almost killed all of those archers and Donzos. They barely got away with 5 health here. That was really funny to watch. My goodness.
So I missed that. I hope the viewers did get to see that. But yeah, really clutch play from Filisberto. I didn't even see that happen.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And now all of a sudden, like, that might have made the difference in this fight. All these archers are really kind of hurt.
Yeah, especially the Donzos as well, you know, like usually you have the Donzos as the front line here against the veteran Chevalier-Confrère, but yeah, they have no health anymore. They're really low health, so you have the Sofa as the front line, you have the archers. Poison Arrow is coming in, but it takes another 15 seconds. So a little bit of an unfortunate timing here in this fight, and the veteran, the heavy, well, mixing words here. The poison archers will be good against the heavy spearmen, but the Sofas really need to be on the lookout for those because they will kill them so fast.
Yeah, heavy spearmen, great choice from Filisberto here. Gullyd3ck3l, now all of a sudden the momentum has switched, and I think that demo ship really was critical in switching the momentum.
Yeah,
here.
100%. It didn't really kill anything there, but it definitely opened the window for Filisberto to capitalize on all those low health units and make sure that the next engagement would definitely be in his favor. A little bit of a raid here with the Chevalier-Confrères on the 3rd pitman for Gullyd3ck3l. Killing a couple villagers, 2 villager kills for now, so Gullyd3ck3l still way in favor here because of the UI still counts the pilgrims, so it's not necessarily villagers that he killed there, but
yeah, and you know what? 4 villagers for all of those knights. I think Gullyd3ck3l's happy with that, given that, you know, he's got a strong passive income, and now we're kind of back into this evenish state here. Filisberto being forced back into his base right now, waiting to get some more heavy spears to deal with these Sofas. And Gully just sort of playing a patient game right now. He knows that a lot of Filisberto's eco is in these fishing ships, and he's been on them for a while. They've got to be running out of resources, and little by little, I think he's going to just outgain Filisberto in this, because once those pawns run out of food, Filisberto doesn't have a lot to lean on.
Yeah, I mean, he can then, or kind of need to then switch into a farm transition, but that can be kind of rough. He still has the berries to work with. There's steers still on the map, so there's still a couple different avenues that Filisberto could take here in terms of stabilizing his food equal, but definitely could be rough, and it all kind of involves having map control, like besides the farm transition.
Mustafadi coming in, which are going to do really well against those heavy spears. Nice little clash in the middle. Gully doesn't think he can win, starts cutting backwards. Sofa sort of shielding the retreat of those archers. Gonna commit to this fight right here, and I don't see enough spears for Filisberto here. And Gully takes another winning fight. And reinforcements just aren't in time.
Yeah, I mean, Filisberto's front line is almost evaporated completely here. And he does have the archers still, so that is important, obviously, against the Donzos, but kinda is struggling with the Sofa, with the Malian composition, and maybe even the Mustafadi threw him off just a little bit. Pilgrims getting killed off here. There's no keep right now, no fortress for Filisberto, so it's only the 2 pilgrims, and they're not even making their goal here. So that is kind of rough. Gullyd3ck3l also capturing the sacred site, so this will not be available anymore very soon.
Yeah, Filisberto, pilgrims cannot get resources if your opponent controls the sacred site.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to switch to this northern sacred site, I guess. And Gully just, you know, he's got his shaman queued to take both of them. And Filisberto kind of needs to switch his game plan just a little bit. This Sofa, Mustafadi, poison arrow comp, very intimidating, and now they're starting to move out. They're moving out onto these ponds here, and that's where a lot of Filisberto's eco is.
Yeah, I mean, there is still a lot of fishing to be had here, so if you can deny the fishing boats, that still is valuable. That's there's still some economic power that Filisberto could siphon from.
But just look at the resources per minute, right? Filisberto barely keeping up in the food economy with these docks, but nowhere near close on the gold. And Gullyd3ck3l just gonna out-resource him very soon. We do have some relics starting to come off the map. Gully in possession of 3. The one relic that Filisberto just picked up. That monk is surrounded by sofas. I don't think he's long for this world.
No. No, that is gonna... Ooh. Oh, that could be...
Oh?
Wow, that was closer than it needed to be honest, but...
I got worried for a second there.
A little bit, right? I mean, yeah, curious to see that. At the same time, I mean, all these sofas on the left side, which Filisberto can now maybe get on top of the archers here, with the man-at-arms, heavy spearmen, and the archers in the back. So Gullyd3ck3l is a little bit out of position here, actually. Needs to regroup immediately. Where are these sofas? They're still burning down the docks.
Yeah, and they're doing important work here. They do need to watch out for that cheeky demo ship that Filisberto could drop on him. But Filisberto switched up his comp. He's more crossbow, men-at-arm, heavy spear with archer backline, and that's going to be difficult. These Mustafatis are going to be key in beating that front line, but Filisberto has a backline that can take him down. So yeah, Gully's got to kind of raid, take down these docks, make sure that you attack Filisberto's eco in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing exactly that. He burned a couple docks here, and so there actually is a demo ship in one of the ponds, but the dock has already been burned. Now he's going on that barracks, so that's also gonna be one less barracks to worry about. And Filisberto is kind of comprised in his base. He walled himself in right now. And so yeah, completely forfeit the map control. Both sacred sites now in possession of Gullyd3ck3l, so that means no pilgrims anymore. And also that potential, 9.5 minutes and we might have a sacred victory. And if Gullyd3ck3l plays it that passively and defensively right now and doubles down on that, he might actually be able to pull a sacred victory off.
Yeah, but even more concerning, Filisberto's eco no longer viable. He's trying to do a farm transition. You can see that he's on all that wood. He needs to switch. These docks aren't an option, but Gully's not giving him time. Gully's kind of pushing in. Sofa's going to burn down the gate, try to get access to that weak backside where all the eco is. Veteran Mustafati warriors doing what they can against this front line, and Filisberto's kind of pulling back. He's trying to cut these sofas off from getting into his eco.
Yeah, sofas cannot really go through the spearmen right now, especially not the heavy spearmen. But at the same time, the poison archers do pretty decently with them, and then there's only the front line here standing for Filisberto. Now sofas actually made their way all the way around and trying to get on top of the archer crossbow mass.
Doesn't matter, these poison arrow archers, they take down men-at-arms, they take down spears, they take down crossbows and archers. And Filisberto just doesn't have an answer for them. There's 56 on the field and they're just teeing off here. And this might be it.
Yeah, I mean,
Filisberto.
I mean, not only that he doesn't have an answer to the units as a composition, it's also that he doesn't have the resources. He's floating 2000 wood right now because he wanted to desperately get into the farm transition, but food-wise, he's down to, like, he cannot even produce villagers right now. His TCC is idle, and he doesn't have anything left. 200 wood, 200 gold, and less than 50 food is not enough to sustain military production. And yeah, Gullyd3ck3l is, just pushing forward relentlessly and closing that game.
Yeah, and Gully, again, very patient, kind of waiting for his time, knew sort of how to play this matchup, knew when Filisberto was going to be strong, and he just kind of bared through that timing, right? And it was really when he hit Castle that the game flipped. As soon as he hit Castle, his eco started taking off, and then he could really fight Filisberto. And Filisberto needed to go Castle after that, otherwise he's going to be at a massive tech disadvantage, which bought Gully more time. And really sort of taking his sofas out and distracting the bulk of Filisberto's raiding force bought him all the time he needed.
Yeah, yeah, very well executed by Gullyd3ck3l. Just letting his opponent do what he does because he, as Malians, they need a little bit of time to set up, and once they did that, they feel pretty comfortable. And then he clapped back, so really good. I mean, we looked at the military count here. Pretty even overall, but like the last fights then were extremely one-sided here for Gullyd3ck3l. No way for Filisberto to deal with that calm.